What's up, y'all? Welcome to my channel. It's just Rhonda. Sorry I'm late. Am I late? Yeah, ish. Ish. I feel like y'all know what to expect, but my grandbaby was in there taking his first steps and people started screaming, so I had to stop what I was doing over here and go see what the heck is going on. Anyway, y'all, welcome to the channel. It's what day is it? Normally I do this on Tuesdays. Today I'm doing it on they upset him. Today I'm doing it on Wednesday, so yeah, don't get used to me doing this on Wednesdays. Everything has been shifted one day ahead, y'all. Like the video, subscribe to my channel, and yeah, it's the King's Court. It's season 1, it's episode 6. The Kings is over here doing the things they be doing, acting a fool, you know. I have a question. Do y'all feel the same about the Kings as you did when you first started? When I first started, well, not all the Kings, just one King in particular. When this show first started, I was like, well, I know Tyson is a playboy, so my expectations of Tyson hasn't changed. He's came over here and been exactly who I thought he was going to be. Carlos Boozer is a basketball player. I know how they get down, and so none of what he's doing over here surprises me. Thaddeus, forget what they call his name, his wrestling name, but I wasn't familiar with him. I did not know him. I never heard of him, but he's very well spoken. He's very much charismatic. And I got these signs over here because sometimes that makes a difference. So I just thought I would write that down. But he's very charismatic. And so I could see the appeal in him until now I'm getting to know him better. And, I see my picker keep doing the same thing it always do. Tyson is a Sagittarius. He gonna be all over the place, y'all. He is not serious and he changes his mind, at the flip of a dime. Thaddeus is a Taurus. So if you want to get into that stubbornness, see, I'm a Capricorn, so I'm stubborn, and stubborn don't necessarily work like, in the best way. Carlos is a Scorpio. So there you have it. Now you can know, now you can see, what some of these personality traits are. If it's not your thing, don't worry about it. You don't have to include any of this in your analysis of these kings, but I do. It makes me kind of, see how they move. You know what I mean? And so far, yeah, they move. And be careful, ladies, over there fooling with Carlos Boozer. Imagine he got, caught up in some, infidelity. Anyway, this week the ladies get to meet the friends and family. So I guess I always go into these dating shows thinking, we ain't necessarily gonna leave with anybody. So, what's really happening over here besides everybody trying to get their exposure for whatever reason it is? I feel like Tyson is worldwide, international. You know what I'm saying? So nobody had to introduce us to Tyson. Carlos Boozer, you would have to be a basketball fan. You know what I'm saying? And clearly he ain't on the court no more. So you got to think back to some years back. So, he's a retired athlete. So I guess my point is we wouldn't really know him either if he hadn't come over here for all of the, Bravo is a stretch. Peacock, that's a stretch. Thaddeus, again, I had never heard of him. So, this is definitely a platform to make those two, like I said, aside from Tyson, be more exposed and, have more eyes on them. I don't know what the long game is. I mean, Carlos probably looking to get his numbers up, get the DMs filled up again like he did back in the day, get a chance to tibble and bibble with some of these young ladies, that are in his preference, because he definitely has a preference. They all do. Yeah, they all do. And there's nothing wrong with that. You like what you like, and that's what it is. So yeah, we get to meet the friends and family. Carlos brought his brother, who he said is younger. He looked like a younger brother. I don't know what the brother does, but brothers know each other and they have each other's backs. So, his brother, honestly, I felt like he was very discerning. He wasn't over here just, hanging out. I think his observation for what he could tell in this very short time was accurate. So, uh, who did Tyson bring? Tyson brought his best friend, and Thaddeus. Thaddeus brought his two best friends, his best friend, and his ex-fiance best friend. Thaddeus is the biggest game player of them all. Ooh, that's why you need time. That's why you need time to evaluate situations. You can't go into things thinking, look at him. Carlos has two connections. Otherwise, is not a connection. So, and we'll get into that, but he got two connections, Carlos. Tyson has four connections, and he'll connect and keep connecting. He could add more if he wanted to, but he's broke it down to these four. Thaddeus, how many connections do you have over here? We was talking about Tyson and his list and not having time, but clearly he has more time than Thaddeus do. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 connections, Thaddeus. I guess that's not on him. You know what I'm saying? I guess that's on them. They chose. Catherine decided, early on that she wasn't going to be around here playing with Tyson. So I'm not mad at her for that. Ariel knew what she wanted when she got there, and clearly she's got it. She's been to the behavior table, and she was on her best behavior this week, apparently, because we didn't even hardly see her. Dr. Kalia. I feel like Dr. Kalia is used to standing out wherever she go because she carries herself in such a way that's interesting. You're drawn in. She's definitely has me drawn in. Brianna, aside from the hair, I don't know what she's doing over there. Denitra, Demi. Yeah, it's time to start cutting some of these ladies out. Anyway, Ida Weiss meets Carlos' brother. I had no idea that Carlos and Ida Weiss even had a connection. Just haven't seen her since, what did she do? Bowling or something? She came in with Ariel and them. I forgot about Ida Weiss, but apparently what we haven't been seeing is her and Carlos, maybe or maybe not. I don't know how anybody gets close enough to Carlos with Janae over there, guarding her king. And Ida Weiss she didn't forgot she was here too, to be honest. Seemed like she was like, oh yeah, me? Okay. I feel like everybody comes over there. They think that Carlos is locked in with Janae. He's locked in. He would like to not be locked in, but she's not allowing him to unlock. And he's too much of a chicken to get up and go pull the lock off. So he's just letting her lock him in. And he's sneaking around like a sneaky Scorpio, trying to have conversations with Jennifer and possibly even Ida Weiss. He keeps saying he's open, but we see that. He is open. That's all on Janae. She's doing it to herself. But I feel like he wasn't necessarily very open until Jennifer got there. All of a sudden, he's open because he ain't been open. Him and Janae have been huddled and cuddled up in the corner somewhere, talking about their future together and whatever they had that was talking about. They had this lady thinking that he's the best thing that she's ever met in her whole life. And y'all gonna have to do some king shit. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, Ida Weiss says she's been dealing with playboys, and it's, they be out here playing with your emotions, and then, it causes her to put up a wall. And who does she gravitate towards? Seems like the one person in here that's going to play with your emotions alongside Thaddeus. I'm going to go ahead and say, I can't believe I'm saying this, but at least with Tyson, you know what you're getting. And if you're over there trying to tie him down, then that makes you stupid. You should really just be trying to have fun. I don't think Tyson's feelings is tied into any. I don't think. I absolutely know. Nothing about this is touching Tyson's feelings. I'm not sure he has any. Not the kind that want to draw you into a relationship. I feel like Tyson really doesn't have those types of feelings. He feels like he wants to be out here, pelvic, shaking his pelvis. And Tyson, it's given that you've been to some freak offs. I think you should relax. You'd be like, in the 90s. So I heard out here in these streets that the person, because this isn't this week, this is next week, but why I'm thinking about it, I heard that the person that Sarah was involved with back in the day that was a celebrity was a Robert Kelly, as in the R to the Kelly. And that's why she doesn't want to talk about it. And that's why Tyson said he does not want his name affiliated with that. So we'll see what happens there. There's, the whole she dated R to the Kelly, allegedly, and the whole, because I don't know if they're going to say it. They might still bleep it out just for the sake of keeping it bleeped out. And we just have to watch him, talk about how he doesn't want to be associated with that. Well, anyway, that's what I had heard. But I wasn't even supposed to be talking about Tyson. I'm supposed to be talking about Idolize and how, she's been dealing with Playboys. Idolize is out next week. We got to cut some of these people out. Who's going? We'll talk about who's going this week. But in my mind, who's going next week? Idolize. If you've been to the table already, if you're going back to the table again, your chances are not good. Brianna, let's see. I did see a fight with not a fight, but a interaction. It was a spicy interaction between Catherine and Thaddeus. So I don't know when that's happening, but whenever it happened, she probably gonna get called to the table too. Anyway, this week Idolize is here. I think your wall should always be up. I think your wall should always be up. I hear that a lot. I've been hurt in the past. I've built up walls. If one thing you've learned in the past is to build a wall, preferably one of brick. That way, when the big bad wolf comes knocking at your door and he starts to huff and puff and try to blow your house down, you have a strong house made of brick. And you can decide whether you want to let his ass in the door or not. Walls must be kept up. Can't just be giving your heart to anybody. Carlos Boozer is a Scorpio with 2 and a possible in his pocket. It sounds like a player. I know we're on a dating show, reality show, what have you, but if there's 2 in front of you, if you're the third, just say la vie. Avita say. Ain't that what Heidi say? Anyway, I feel like the right man to put in work, to get let in the heart. Otherwise, keep up the balls, ladies. She said, if she starts feeling stuff now, like she's prone to walk away, that's what you should do. That's your instincts. If your instincts is telling you to walk away, walk away. And a lot of these ladies have walked away on this show. Not everybody has waited to get to the table. I feel like they like Idolize, but she seems like the type that'll be like, you know what? Like, sayonara, everybody. I've had a good time, but I'm not about to sit around here playing. Her numbers is probably up more than it was before she got here. I don't know what number she's trying to reach. I haven't been to everybody's social media, because not everybody is on the list. Anyway, Sarah meets Tyson's friend. She had on a little tight dress that she was glad that she didn't meet his mama today. I guess that would be embarrassing. I guess, you don't necessarily want to meet somebody's mother in a little bitty dress, but not his friend either, because his friend goes see through it. Depending on who his friends is, he'll either be distracted by it or see through it. This friend knows Tyson. He knows Tyson's is full of shit. I feel like he read him pretty good. He brought up the fact that Tyson gets a lot of attention from the outside, and she sit up there lying, talking about that wouldn't bother her. I wanted to keep him turned up. Really? Because I can't tell. Maybe as long as she's the one on his arm, but what does his turn up look like? Like, we see what his turn up looks like. And it seems like he's socializing much closer with other people than he is with you. Like, we see him and Felicia all over each other all the time. And he likes it. He makes uncomfortable noises when they're hanging out with each other. I think it bothers her, honestly, though, This is just the vibe she's giving. So I don't want to be that person all the time, but her and Janae have something in common. That's probably why they buddied up with each other. And I think that she thinks that she should be his only option because when she looks at his other options, she feels like, what do you mean? You know what I mean? She feels like she's the only option. I'm trying to say it in a way that, don't I don't want to make it heavy. I think she's kind of assaulted. Okay. I think she's kind of insulted by Tyson's attraction to Felicia. And I think she's less bothered by his attraction to Jennifer. Does that make sense? Like, it should bother her either way. Maybe it does a little because Jennifer is definitely a threat. But I wonder why she doesn't feel like Felicia is equally as much, because Tyson has dumped you for Felicia every freaking time. I see him and Felicia in there being very touchy-feely with each other. And you came over here with the little dress on and, I don't know. I think he likes each one of them for a different reason. He likes this spicy thing. So Tyson wants to get all, argumentative with you. He does little things to pick fights with you that he knows it's going to annoy you, and then sits there with those eyes like, all halfway shut. Talking about what? What you talk about? Anyway, Dr. Kalia. She meets Thaddeus' best friends, one of which is his ex-fiance. So please tell me, how was Dr. Kalia supposed to respond to this situation? Hey, Kiwan. How was Dr. Kalia supposed to respond to this? How would you respond? It would the very least make me uncomfortable. I don't really like these sisters that, not sisters that aren't sisters, but he's my brother that ain't my real brother, that we might have, smashed in the past, but now we're just brother and sister. I'm not hanging around, you know what I'm saying, like that closely. He says she helped raise his children. They were engaged, but it didn't work out. Tell me more, Thaddeus' friend. Dr. Kalia came over there, and she's obviously not comfortable. Having a poker face, I don't know that that's necessary. And I don't know that she was trying to have one. I feel like Dr. Kalia is pretty upfront, forward with it. She didn't gasp or clasp her pearls or anything, but it definitely changes the energy when, you come over and say, these are my friends. And I'm not saying you can't have guy friends, but not your ex-fiance. Come on. And now we're best friends. Get the out of here. Best friend still wants to be around. That's why she's over there raising them children. And if she's helped him raise his children, that's the bond that I don't know. And I don't know, how much say so she's going to have within the relationship. Good job, Thaddeus. I just would question anybody that's that willing to, like, I don't know. If I was just a friend that never smashed, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, he's my friend and he's by himself and he's got this career that he has to travel and all kind of things, then I'm going to understand, stepping in. He could come spend the night, or the kids could come stay over here, but we've never slept together. There's never been this thing that we were boyfriend, girlfriend. This lady was his fiance. Y'all were going to build a life together, but instead of building a life together, you chose to raise children and a family together. Come on, get out of here with that. And then you go act like oh my goodness, she doesn't have a poker face. Why would she? Because I didn't. We was all like, the what? So all you girls and guys can be friends, people. Okay, but not fiancés that raise your kids. Thaddeus is full of shit and tricks. That's what I think. You will always be in a relationship, wonder who is the real partner. Is it me or is it her? And then the kids down the child. And Dr. Kalia carries herself in a way, you know what I mean, that she's going to have certain expectations of children. And then here comes the fun mom, running around the house with her sneakers on and things. I don't know what that is. I don't know what kind of situation you've created for yourself, but good luck with that. Dr. Ariel. Dr. Ariel was on her best behavior, but you best believe she would not. You want to bring somebody in there to be feisty with your ex? That would be the one. It's two different kinds of feisty, Dr. Kalia's feisty is very pulled together. And Dr. Ariel's feisty is very much in your face. So, they sat down with Brianna. How come they didn't do more with Dr. Ariel? Honestly, because she's been the one that's been his, girl for the last few weeks. He dumped a doctor. He did kept a doctor. Everybody that he's aligned himself with has been a doctor. Anyway, I think it's interesting that they didn't show any more of his interaction with Dr. Ariel, but I feel like it's because she got taken down to the table last week. And what Cornelius likes to do is tell you how he likes how much feisty you are and then tell you to relax. Don't be so feisty. Ain't nobody got time to be battling Khalil. I'm looking at Kalia and thinking about Thaddeus. Thaddeus, nobody have time to be playing mind games with you, because then it can get ugly based on based on what you shared. Piss the wrong one off, and it'll get really ugly. He said his divorce was ugly. I'm beginning to see why. Where's she at? Are those her kids? I have so many questions, Thaddeus. Since you be over here changing people's personalities. Brianna likes him with no shirt on. Girl, you seen him with no shirt on. Now I want to know why that's any more deep than what, apparently he likes being objectified, because Dr. Demi, not Dr. Demi, but I feel like if they sitting over here on his side, they got to be a doctor. I don't know what she does. Demi over here, she just thinks that she likes the way he looks at her. Demi, are you used to getting through life like being pretty and not much else? Is that what you're looking for? It would be great to see, what is it that you're looking for? The king just gets to pick all the qualities and you don't have to have any. That's all you got to do. Just smile at you. Stop it. He got a nice smile, not enough to change my life. I'm just saying, girl, I see why, I see why you met your demise. Denitra's giving goofy. I mean, that's the best way I can think about it. Denitra's giving a little bit goofy, and she also still wants children. So anybody that doesn't have children at any particular age, whether it be younger and you don't want any more kids because you've already had kids, or you just don't want any. But if you still want kids, there's no point getting into a relationship with someone who is like, I've raised my children. He's not even somebody who's never had children. He's got 3. He's got children. He's raising children. It just won't be yours. And he doesn't have, he's already got a partner in that. So he doesn't need you to, because his ex, whatever her name is, I don't remember. Whatever her name is, Thaddeus' ex, has got that on lock. She will be raising the children. She will be very involved in your relationship. And, there you go. And I don't think anybody should be giving up that dream of becoming a mom because this man that you met has already lived that part of his life. That means y'all are not a match. We don't know what Brianna wants, whether she wants kids or not. She's just here to watch the man take his shirt off, I guess. Janae meets Carlos' brother, and he's asking her about kids. He wants to know, he's got 2 older kids. He's got a younger child. I don't know how much that younger one is, but it sounds young. So you would be being around him with a very young child. That's not the same thing as being around him with his grown-up teenagers who already have a mom that may or may not be staying at the house with y'all. Anyway, she talking about, I'm here to support Carlos, whatever he needs. So if he's got children, he does have children. I'll just love them, the same way he does. Does she want children? Does he want children? Is he still open to having more kids? I don't know. Well, they've had a lot of conversation. She been sitting around there talking, and I don't know, like Carlos might, I love his kids, whatever he needs, anything he needs, I'll be there for him. I'm just here to support him. What are you here to do for yourself, child? I hate it so much. I think Janae is an attractive woman. I just hate how she's just sitting here like twisting her hair, talking about how Carlos, anything he wants, I want to be it for him. I would be interesting to know, like, let us in on that conversation. They doing you wrong, Janae. They making you seem like y'all aren't doing much more than listening to you whine ever since this girl Jennifer come in the house. Carlos says he needs to build her confidence. So for him to say that, for me, hey Shayna, for him to say that for me lets me know that she's over there in a place where she feels insecure. And that probably took place before Jennifer even got here. She told him that she sabotages relationships and, the moment she told the man that he was the best thing that ever happened to her in her whole life, I was like, uh-oh. If I was Carlos, I would be on pause after hearing that. Like I said, this happened before Jennifer. If somebody told me 3 weeks into meeting me, if that, has it been 3 weeks? It's just been, a couple, what'd you say? They need to wrap up this show? Yes, it's a wrap. You know what it is? They brought too many women in. If they would have cut these women in half and we could see them like go have, you know what I mean? Because everything has been real short. Like the dates are short. It's so many women that it's hard to see what's really going on. And from what I'm seeing on the other side of this, the castmates and stuff, the women like are having a good time and hanging out with each other. But why can't we see that? And just see the whole dynamic of it all. I mean, this is my first time over here. I didn't watch the Queens. So I did not know, but I feel like there's way too many women. And what you call it? Thaddeus ain't finna have nothing to do with you unless you're a doctor. So anyway, I mean, he got his share. They made sure they had enough doctors for him. Yeah, I'm like, he got to build her confidence. Why is that a thing? It should at this point be fun. And how long has it been? Not that long. It can't be. It can't be that long that you're over here like this much bent out of shape by some girl that came in the house. I guess, because at this point you should just, pull out your best pink dress, girl, and give it what it's got. That's what Jennifer is doing. It's got y'all all messed up. She, speaking of, comes over, interrupts that moment. Jennifer knows what she's doing, but I mean, I'm not mad at her. That's what she came to do, Janae. She don't care nothing about you. What is she worried about you for? She came over here to meet Carlos, and just because you decided, so I'm supposed to come over here and just be like, oh, these people, they're already coupled up, so we can't. We can't interrupt that. No, girl, I don't know you. The matchmaker said I was the best match. So whatever you got going. And then Jennifer, she talks like all soft and she giggles a lot and she does that thing. Men sometimes, sorry guys, men sometimes react to that baby talk thing the same way the dogs do. When you talk to your dog like that, he's like, thinks that means come be in my face. At least that's what my dog's. I don't care what he's doing. If I talk in a baby face, a baby voice, and I have a grandson in here. So if I'm talking to the grandson, and here comes the dog, because he responds to that too. And I feel like that's what Carlos and Tyson are responding to. She's doing baby talk thing. Carlos is over there acting like he can't believe you. I cannot believe you have an actual thought in that beautiful head of yours. Every time when you open your mouth, actual sense comes out of it. Somebody should slap him upside the head with a, anything handy, flower pot. I'm just saying. Jennifer said that if Carlos want to get to know her, he gonna have to initiate. That's what I'm talking about. He need to get up off his big 6'8" behind, however tall he is, and walk over to that girl and talk to her and stop. You're being bullied by Janae for what? If Janae should be more comfortable than anybody because she already got a connection. This girl Jennifer just got here. There's a bunch of bikinis walking around, and so if she would have sat around sounding like a bubblehead, he would have dropped her all over already. Maybe. He doesn't lust anymore, allegedly. That's what he said. But I have a feeling that's what he's doing whenever Jennifer walks in the room. Well, Jennifer thinks he's a nice, healthy salad with some light dress and vinaigrette on the side. Very specifically. But she thinks Tyson is a cheeseburger with everything on it. So while he's over here, about to lose his girl, he's not gonna lose her. She'll be there till the end of time. She already said so. So he's over here playing. And this girl needs to stop going after cheeseburgers because that ain't what you want. I mean, you don't need a salad. You could eat a cheeseburger, but don't eat that one. I'm just saying, that's not a great cheeseburger. I feel like you should get a good cheeseburger. You know what I'm saying? One that's good for you. Not that one. Can a cheeseburger be good for you? I guess. It can't. I can't just eat salad for the rest of my life. Just saying. Tyson's friend. Tyson's friend is analyzing, what he thinks, is right for Tyson. Jennifer, he says she's just so fragile. Is she? I don't know. I was going to say she's smart enough not to involve herself with Tyson, but she might know that Tyson is the route to the better exposure than Carlos. You know what I'm saying? And Carlos will be in Miami. She'll be Miami famous. But if she can latch on to Tyson, they will be seen on magazine covers and things. Jennifer, I like the way you think, girl. I'm just saying. That's what Janae should be doing. But she blew it because she came over here and made Carlos her boyfriend. She let him trick her. Girl, them Scorpios. Tyson and Allison, they don't have any chemistry. His friend says she looked like his friend from high school. That is, their chemistry is just very friendly. I think he likes her. I think he admires all of her accomplishments. And she knows it. This is the thing. It's not one-sided. I'm sure she thinks Tyson is very handsome because he's Tyson, but she probably don't really feel no type of chemistry towards him either. I'm just saying. And then, opera singing ain't for everybody. I guess, you like what you like. Sarah, not Sahara. They be saying her name all kind of different ways. He thinks they have chemistry. I guess. I don't know what kind of chemistry you see within the two of them. This Sarah that we got over here in meeting you in a tight little dress is not the one we usually see. She's a little snarky behind the scenes. I'm just saying. So she came over there smiling in your face, but that ain't what we necessarily see. It's interesting when they do the analogy Thaddeus friends. She is definitely not at all into Dr. Kalia. Now, Thaddeus had a long list of women over here that he, got on his roster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He got 6 women over here. But out of the 6, you didn't think he was a match with Dr. Kalia. But you thought take his shirt off was a good, I don't know what doctor. Everybody's a doctor officially. If you got yourself on Thaddeus' list, well, you're a doctor of whatever you do. Because, geez, oh Pete. Anyway, I didn't hear much feedback on Catherine, but she's poised. I don't know that she has a thing for Thaddeus either. His ex called her what did he call her? Moldy bread. Low key. That's what she said. She said he fall in love very fast. Both of them said Thaddeus falls in love very fast. And that this is what the lady said. His ex-fiance said, you think it's the next best thing since sliced bread, and then you find out it's moldy bread. And I was like, no, Dr. Kalia is not going to be moldy bread. We're not going to do that. I don't know. I don't know how anybody is going to find your way into Thaddeus' life. None of these and anywhere else in the world. Be ready. You're going to have to share him with that lady until, the kids are grown. And then even still, because your kids are always, part of your life. She's going to be at every holiday, vacation. Child, Thaddeus, get out of here with that. Y'all acting like this is normal circumstance. It's not. I want to know how I would have loved to see how Dr. Ariel handled it when he first told her that was his ex. Because she had to say that every time. Hello, yes, he's my best friend. I was actually engaged to him before. The mother of his children. At least I raised them. Come on. I wish I would have seen her reaction. Shoot, if anybody brought their representative, it was her. If she sat up there and was poised in that, then you should be concerned, Thaddeus. I want to know what is her sign, because I would have been, eyes like, say, what is she? Oh, okay. Now I can't hear nothing they saying. I'm calculating. Why didn't they stay? That's another thing. Why didn't we get to hear their opinion of Dr. Ariel? Y'all are telling us about people that we ain't even seen them in the same scene together. But we've seen Dr. Ariel and him have this they had a lover's quarrel. She had to go to the elimination table for her punishment. She's been tested. Dr. Kalia, your test is coming. See how you do. I don't know. She did all right, maybe, but we'll see next week. Anyway, I would have wanted to see what they said about Dr. Ariel. Y'all playing. And I don't even know why they do that. That's not suspenseful. It would just been interesting to see. We watching him like her. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, Tyson set up a talent show so we could hear Allison sing. Because nobody there, these people are not entertainers like that. They're not singers and dancers and stuff. So what are we having a talent show for? They went for it. They all was like, let us do this thing so this lady can finally. Y'all brought an opera singer over here. You might as well give us the opportunity to hear it besides just whatever she did at the table, with Tyson. She has a beautiful voice. Opera is something that's definitely different, than what most of us listen to on a regular basis. I think there's plenty to do. They're just not showing us. It's irritating. I hate when they try to tell a story and instead of letting the stuff happen organically. But I'm not mad at the talent show, though, like I said, because the lady, has a beautiful operatic voice. And even though it's not like what most of us listen to on a regular basis, you have to admit, the control and all of that. She not well known, I'm sure, in the opera world. Anyway, they did a little talent show. It's giving a little board in the house board, like you said, Shayna. But I feel like it was more about setting up this, opportunity to hear Miss Allison sing opera. You see, what's this girl, Janae and Sarah? They sitting. Janae and Sarah are having a side little conversation. And this is the part, where I say about Sarah, she's always in the negativity, conversations. We don't see Ida Weiss doing that. She just be out there have a good time. Same thing with Brianna. They're enjoying each other's company, but not these two. They got to sit over in the corner and whine, and they talk shit about Jennifer. Meanwhile, Jennifer's in the kitchen making waffles with Carlos. I don't really understand having an issue with someone who has done nothing. Y'all are for real life haters. This is what a hater looks like. You know what I'm saying? She could have came in there. Well, Janae is already I don't like making friends. That's not what I'm here for. And, girl, stop it. Why not? Why not make friends? Because I know you didn't come over here. Maybe she did. Maybe she came over here and was like, I'm going to put on this pink dress and Carlos Boozer is going home with me. What if he didn't pick you? What if Tyson had picked you? Then, I don't know, but you're in love and you think this is your man. He's not. Girl, lighten up. This girl, Jennifer, came over here to do the same thing you are doing. Only difference is she's got options. She got Tyson and what's his name? Boozer. Hey, Karen. We somewhere in the middle. At this point, I'm just running my mouth. So jump in wherever you like. Yeah, the only difference between Janae and Jennifer is Jennifer has options. She's, gone. She's like, I'm not a doctor and I'm not going to play those doctor games with Thaddeus. So, let him do that. And then, there's the basketball player who is not very public and the icon that is Tyson. He's a whole cheeseburger. Like, what are you really saying when you say this guy's a very healthy salad with vinaigrette dressing on the side, and this guy's a cheeseburger with everything? She pretty much said, I'm about to take a bite out of that because, like I said, she came over there. She's a little baddie, had her tattoos and things out. She's not dumb, which is very pleasant. And y'all are sitting here hating on her for what? Because all we've seen them do is complain. Complain. Sarah is complaining while Felicia's over there grinding all over Tyson. That's what she came for. And she's freaking beautiful. So I feel like anything Tyson got going on, Felicia will be invited. Allison is very poised. She's very, what did his friends say? First lady presidential. She got her own connections. So even if they're not a match, he likes her. So he will be seen somewhere, possibly on a red carpet with Allison. You got Shahs of Sunset. Possibly. You're the girl that was on Shahs of Sunset. We don't really remember, and we're not going to go back and look at episodes to find you. And you possibly dated Robert. So, yeah, stay out the way, girl. I'm just saying, I'm not a Sarah fan, and I don't like this hater conversation that's going on between the two of them. Janae, can I say this? What is going on with her hair? She got these big heavy braids in, and then when they get to the back of her head, it seems like her hair is very fine. That she probably shouldn't be even wearing that in her hair because it's going to make it worse. Sorry. I just had to bring that up. And I don't know that, if something else is going on with her hair, then, I get it. But if something else is going on with her hair, that's a bad idea. There's other things that she could have done to not make it worse. So there's that. Anyway, what do you call it? Not fashion show. That's what they should have done. They should have done a fashion show because another lady's got some cute outfits. And Thaddeus love a good fashion show. Yeah, Janae is sad. Poor girl. Yeah, I know they should have done a fashion show and let Allison sing while they rock the runway. That would have been kind of dope. Anyway, too late. Y'all decided to do it this way. Nobody knows how to do anything. So they did a lot of dancing and background dancing, and it was okay. It was, it was fun if you're tipsy. I'm not. I feel like these two haters over here acting like this girl's trying to break up relationships. Like the way they're telling their story, like I wouldn't come in somewhere and, want to break up a good thing. That ain't what she did. She came over there to be on a competition show, and the matchmaker told her that Carlos and her were a perfect match. And Carlos is over here saying that he's open to find, other than you. And don't worry about it, girl. I feel like she's going to pick Tyson. And based on the reasons why I just brought up, I'm surprised to say I hope she does. Tyson is a win if you're trying to be exposed, in entertainment. So yeah, Carlos is in the kitchen having breakfast with Jennifer. She's between. They said, what did Janae say? She's pretending to be sweet, quiet, and nice. And I'm going to see what she did. What did she do? Show us where it's an act. Because she seemed like she quiet. Even his friend was like, hey, she seems nice. She's pretty. For y'all, that's a problem. I mean, I guess if my man was feeling her, I would feel away, but I'm not a hater. I'm just saying. I can't be mad at the girl for, doing, like I said, what she was supposed to do. Carlos thinks she's deep. He thinks you're fragile. Not fragile as in he needs to be careful with your insecurities. So that don't even sound good starting out. Like y'all just met each other. He's already worried about, protecting your insecurities. Girl. Dr. Kalia and Thaddeus have this workout together. And Thaddeus is her husband on her vision board. On one hand, I see that. Him like being all like, oh my God, I'm her husband. She's pointing out the things, Thaddeus. I don't think you misunderstood at all. She's pointing out the things that that would be, her vision in a man. Obviously tall, dark, handsome, well-spoken, successful. As on paper, he's good. It's the mind games and the tests that are issue. But she's saying, like, I had a vision board. These are the things, and a lot of people manifest, literally with the vision board. So no, she doesn't think, she wants you to be her husband necessarily. She might be changing her mind at this point. She's playing in her head how your ex-fiance is that involved in your life. And any woman would be like, dang, he's like just what I was like had in my thought. We haven't dealt with the toxicity, but you get in a relationship and then welcome to it. And that goes for everybody. Because now you're trying to blend two people. Some people, I'm sure, are in situations more toxic than others. But I'm just saying, like Carlos was saying, if you're in a relationship with somebody, at some point you're going to run into some bumps in the road. So you can't be running off otherwise every time it gets uncomfortable for you. But if it feels like you're being played, Carlos, then she should absolutely run. I went all the way back to the beginning. I feel like this best friend person got in his head, and now he's going in there having this conversation with Dr. Kalia from her, called the lady spoiled bread, moldy bread. I know you did not just sit up there and call, low key Dr. Kalia moldy bread. Anyway, I feel like he's looking at this, Kalia from now his friends, his best friend's lens. And he's acting obtuse like he don't know what she meant. I'm guessing that's what she meant. Dr. Kalia, I'm going hard for you because, I feel like that's not what you meant. You said your vision board. Come on. You just met the man. And Thaddeus said he would like for somebody to fall for him within a 3-day, range. Oh my God, are these our kings? What is happening? Thaddeus knows he's not stupid by any means. He knows that Dr. Khalil is not for play. He keeps bringing up her accomplishments in Cornell, and I know she's this and that. I would just like for her to pop off. And see how crazy that sounds? What's her name? From the very beginning, Shawanda, Dr. Shawanda, she was feisty. He uses that word, feisty, aggressive. He likes it. Ooh, I like how feisty you are. And then he's like, you're being feisty. And then, aggressive comes in. And then Dr. Shawanda like shrinks down. And now he's like, what you shrinking down for? You came in feisty, so then he sent her home. Dr. Ariel, she came in feisty. Like her or not, she's a feisty lady. Ooh, I like you being feisty. Don't be acting up in front of people. You need to tone it down a bit. I can't take you anywhere. Nowhere was that lady giving, I can't take you anywhere. She was having a back and forth with somebody who was also very feisty. So, let's put things in perspective. Yes, Karen, Thaddeus is toxic. It's unfortunate, but he is. So now you have Dr. Kalia, who is very poised and very, put together. And he's like, you come on, give me a real answer. Who was it that said that? His friend. She's always bringing her representative. I think that's how she is. I think her pop-off is still very poised and controlled. That's who she is. Now you want her to pop off because she's keeping control, maintaining control of herself. You got it all twisted, Thaddeus. I would be ready to pop off for real. um, it's the elimination dinner. Edelweiss, come to the front, please. Denitra, Demi, Dr. Kalia, you must all come to the table because one of y'all or more than one of y'all might be going home tonight. I like Holly Robinson and Rodney. And I thought I'd just, I'm bringing it up because when they met each other, he was an athlete. I feel like he was at the end of his career. He wasn't in that super player, mode of his life. But Dr. Holly, not child, I'm going to make everybody a doctor, like I said. Holly Robinson was already successful in her own right. You know what I mean? We knew Holly from, she was one of our childhood stars, one of our Black childhood stars. So, when they got together, they were not dependent on each other for popularity, notoriety, any of those things. They brought to the table their own. Dr. Kalia brings to the table her own. So does Ariel. So does Catherine. She's like, my kids are out of the house, child. I'm out here I'm not trying to be having no babies. I'm not sure, what the other three, because we didn't get a whole lot of that. But I will say it feels like all these women on this show are successful. There's no scrubs over here. It's always like that. But at least this time, they got the men that are the caliber. Maybe we need about 5 kings. If we're going to have all these women, geez, who can juggle all that? Anyway, they got to get rid of who they're not connected to, bottom line. I don't feel like they've been spending a lot of time with Demi and Denitra. Brianna always seems to make her way into, the mix somehow. She's probably fun. They like having her around. But I don't see her getting a real connection with anybody either. So this is the test, Dr. Kalia. Thaddeus. And who else does this? Tyson. Tyson does this as well. He brings you to the table in order to control the situation. So you never know. Like, I'm going to give you another chance to fix it. And if you don't fix it, then you're out for sure. So I don't know if Dr. Kalia is going to be able to put up with it. He told her that he wants to see how she responds in an uncomfortable situation. How do most people respond in an uncomfortable situation? There's no positive way to respond. You know what I'm saying? I don't think. Like, what is it that you want her to do in an uncomfortable situation? This is not uncomfortable. Uncomfortable is, when too many people get in the elevator, and I would prefer not having all these people in here with me. What you're doing is mind games. It's playing with my emotions. It's more than uncomfortable. You're trying to get me to pop off. That's not cute. He doesn't want the Cornell version of her. Well, that's who she is. And why would you say that? It's almost like he's attacking her accolades. Okay, girl. Karen got to go. I don't know. He didn't like Ariel doing too much, and now this one isn't doing enough. He keeps bringing up her education and things. And why does that keep coming up? And not in a positive. Like, now you're saying it like, I don't want the Cornell version. Please, that's the version you get. That's who she is. She's been built on that. That's why she can, conduct herself this way. It's okay to be ratchet. He said that. It's okay to be a little ratchet. Who was ratchet? Please say, who was over here being ratchet? I didn't see the ratchet necessarily. I'm trying to think. Was anybody being ratchet? I know what he's referring to. But for, first of all, for Ariel to be like, we've been kicking it. Now you want to add a list. Like, he doesn't want these people to respond to things. How she responded was, her and Tari were going back and forth. So, but was that being ratchet? I guess, child. It was just a little back and forth. But you didn't like that. But you would prefer that. Throw the whole man out. Um, he asked her how she feels about his ex-fiance being his best friend. And her answer was something to the effect of, I mean, I'm fine with it. I had to process it. I'm a single mom and I know how important it is to have help. He didn't like that answer. So, child, good luck trying to please Thaddeus because no matter what you do, he gonna prefer the other thing. Denitra, Demi, y'all are out. Who didn't see that coming? I feel like I seen that coming because there's been no interaction with them. And honestly, this lady Denitra wanting children, and Demi couldn't come up with nothing better than I like the way he smiles at me, is saying that you ain't really getting to know him anyway, so you might as well go. Carlos, he keeps Idlewives, and she thought she was out, but she was like pretty much, she doesn't care. She's there for a good time. I don't think Idlewives is attached really to any of them. So I feel like next week she's gonna be the one on the chopping block. Who else? Sarah, we're gonna have to see how you act next week before we. The whole your ex thing. You might be on the chopping block too. So, Dr. Kalia, it might be between you and Catherine. I haven't, like I said, we have to see how that episode plays out. But I feel like Dr. Ariel ain't going nowhere for a minute, and yeah. So that's about it, y'all. Idlewives stays and Dr. Kalia stays, but she's not happy about it. And that's how they ended the show. That's how I'm going to end this show. I will see y'all tomorrow at 7 for Project Runway. In the meantime, don't forget to hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Tell a friend, and you know what it is. I'm going to see you whenever I see you.